On today's episode of the Liquid Trucking Podcast, we're getting sleepy, very sleepy. But why and how can we manage that? Driver fatigue is a serious issue, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about it. Like, whose fault is it? The driver and their ability to manage it, or is it just part of the job itself? We're going to talk about how you can manage that road fatigue, and we're going to hear from you, the drivers, about your own experiences. So wake up and let's get into it on the Liquid Trucking Podcast.
Welcome to the gold standard of podcasts for the gold standard of drivers. This is the Liquid Trucking Podcast with your host, Marcus Bridges.
What's good out there, Liquid Trucking, and welcome into the Liquid Trucking Podcast. I think we're up to episode 114 here. Welcome into the show today. I'm your host, Marcus, of course, with you as always, and here with me, as always, from a couple episodes before on out is my new co-host, Amanda. And Amanda, it's only going to be so much longer that I can still call you my new co-host, because honestly, it doesn't feel new anymore. It feels like you've been here for months already.
Right? Besties forever. You're in so much trouble, Marcus.
Well, we want to tell you, of course, got to hit the homework off the top like we always do. Podcast.liquidtrucking.com is the website. And actually, Amanda, I haven't talked to you much about the website there, but you've gotten some time to go over there, check it out, see what it's all about. Your best advice for drivers that haven't checked out the podcast website yet, what would you tell them that they can find up there, and why should that be their first stop when they're worried about the Liquid Trucking Podcast?
Well, listen, I'll tell you what I've been telling my friends that are on this new journey with me, okay? If you feel like you are unsure of how to use this app or that app or whatever else, whatever platform you might think you can find us, you don't have to be nervous going to the website. It is so super easy to find the most recent episode and listen to it. So, you know, if that's something you've grappled with, I mean, the website is the best bet. I've started linking that page rather than, episodes on Spotify or whatever else. But super helpful. Not only that, but also, if you are not a Liquid driver, hey, guess what? Now you're on a page that will connect you to some more information if you want to be. So I think very helpful.
Yes, absolutely. And I will tell you right now, unless you're like under the age of 25, I won't believe you if you tell me you haven't grappled with apps, because every single app is a brand new journey and a brand new experience. It's like you have to learn new technology every time you download a new app. All the podcast ones are different. All the video ones are different. All the chat ones are different. Guess what? I've been going to web pages since I had my first 15 minutes of AOL on CD-ROM.
Hey.
That's how long I've been going to websites, to date myself a little bit. And I think you've probably been going to websites just as long. If you're out there listening right now and you are sick of apps, that is what the website will do for you, is take you to a central place where all the episodes are at, all the information about who we're talking to and what we're talking about. Plus, when we end up with photos to put up, whether it be, photos of the trucks, maybe we get photos of vets in uniform we've done before, it's all central. It all happens right there. Plus, you got some analytics up there if you want to pit yourself against some of the other drivers for Liquid, see how well you stack up. Podcast.liquidtrucking is your spot. Well, podcast.liquidtrucking.com. Can't forget that. If you want to email us, Amanda and I both have access to podcast@liquidtrucking.com. That's where you can send us your ideas for the show, or feedback for the show. If you'd like to say, really, Marcus, since you've added Amanda, we realize that you are pretty annoying. I totally get that, and I would love to see it, right?
That door.
Bring it to me. Bring it to me. I've got big, broad shoulders, and I need to get better as a person. I'm looking introspectively here now.
I'm not worried about you. I'm just waiting for someone to notice how my laugh sounds like the female Krusty the Clown, but whatever.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but now that you brought it up, we will talk about The Simpsons a little bit later in this episode. So
right.
Something for you all to look forward to there. Today's episode is actually a very important one, all jokes aside. We've got a great group of drivers, and I promise you we will share some laughs in the interview, but we are talking about something that is very serious and I think near and dear, Amanda, to a lot of drivers' hearts, and that is driver fatigue. I don't say it's near and dear to your hearts because you love to be fatigued. I think what I'm saying is it's an issue. It's something that you constantly have to pay attention to out there on the road if you want to pay a mind to safety, Amanda.
And, I think the thing that makes it so much more serious is sure, we all might deal with fatigue, in our day-to-day life and in our job, but are we dealing with fatigue while being in charge of a couple of tons of metal? You know what I'm saying? Like it's you're holding more than your own life and your own safety in your hands when you're dealing with driver fatigue. It is a very, very serious thing to have to pay attention to.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to get our drivers in here in just a minute to answer some questions. Like Amanda said in the cold open, I want to know what the drivers think about this being kind of a structural industry issue versus their own responsibility. And I'm going to hit them right in the face with that question. That's a question that none of them know I'm going to ask. So we're going to get a real honest response from them here. And another thing that I think you're going to get out of this interview once you hear it out there, drivers, is everybody kind of deals with it on their own schedule and with their own ways. But what I think you'll realize is that a lot of you guys use the same tips and tricks. A lot of you guys have the same, you've learned the same skills to manage fatigue at the job you do. Just like all of us will eventually, right? If you work at Baskin Robbins and you're just two scooping all day long, who knows that, that 6th hour might come along and the 86th order of rum raisin and the eyelids get heavy. It happens regardless of your walk of life. But you guys as truck drivers have a very specific issue with it, and that is safety. You've got an obligation to the motoring public, and you've got an obligation more so to yourself and the company and your family to stay safe. And part of being safe is being alert, being aware, especially with 80,000 pounds of molasses on your back or whatever you happen to be hauling that day. So, it's a long conversation. I want to prepare you guys for it. We went almost an hour with this interview, so this episode's going to be a little bit longer today, but we wouldn't have let it go that long if we weren't getting really good stuff from the drivers. So strap in, get ready. Here is our conversation with Burt Morris, Matthew Stevens, Jason Defoor, and Mikal Donut Duncan about driver fatigue. Enjoy. All right, back up and moving here on the Liquid Trucking Podcast. Amanda and I are joined right now on the air by 4 Liquid Trucking drivers. Please welcome to the program, Burt Morris. Burt, good to have you, man. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me back.
Of course. You've got an open invitation, but you be careful with that thing, okay?
Oh yeah, I am. I don't want to be oversaturated, but topics that come up that interest me, I sometimes jump on them.
Heck yeah, man. And for anybody wondering, I know we don't use the video here, but there's a time that we might. I'm still rocking my Free Burt stickers on my water bottle that he gave me at the Liquid Trucking Jamboree. If this ever becomes a video podcast, you can see those stickers right now. I'm holding my water bottle up. Burt, I got to be honest with you, man. The quality of your stickers is amazing. I've got other stickers that I've had on my water bottle that are older, that are far more beat up, and they definitely get a little bit soggy when they get wet. Yours don't do that. So keep up the good work, man.
He's good. I got new ones too with my company logo now.
Perfect. Well, that means that I got to get back out to Nebraska and see you again, man.
Yep.
All right, well, Burt's on the show. We got 3 other drivers to welcome here. Say hi to Jason Defoor. Jason, welcome back to the show, man. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Of course. We also got Mikal Donut Duncan, no stranger to the podcast. Welcome back, Donut.
Thank you. I always love being on here.
Short notice today, man. I told you were going to be doing this about 10 seconds ago, and here you are. So greatly appreciate the flexibility and the willingness to join us at the drop of a hat, man. Always appreciated.
Well, thank you.
And making his first appearance here on the podcast, very excited to welcome Liquid Trucking driver Matthew Stevens. Matthew, how's it going, man? Thanks for being here.
It's going pretty good today. Thanks for letting me be on here.
Absolutely, man. I always like to get a little bit of background from my driver when they join us for the first time. So how long have you been with Liquid?
Well, I came back to Liquid in November, the week before Thanksgiving. I was here for about a year back in 2022 and just came back.
Okay. All right. Well, thinking about maybe having another episode where we theme it as if you love someone, set them free. We had a really cool episode. It's probably been 40 episodes ago where we talked to some drivers that left Liquid and came back. And it was really cool to hear some of the experiences out there. Some guys got bait and switched a little bit. Some guys just couldn't stay away. So I'm going to keep you in mind for that when we have another one of those episodes. All right, Matthew?
Sounds good. I'd be happy to do it.
Awesome, man. Well, welcome back. Glad to have you back. And let's just jump right in here, Amanda. We're talking about something that, while it doesn't show up on the ATRI's top 10 list of concerning issues for truck drivers every year, I know that it's something that you guys are thinking about all the time, and that is sleep, rest, fatigue, however you want to put it. It's a big deal. And Amanda, I know you've worked a lot with truck drivers in your past. Your papa was a truck driver. Maybe you can tell me a little bit from your standpoint on what was it like growing up with him and seeing his sleep schedule when he was actually home. How did you see that as a child growing up in the house?
So I'll tell you guys, first of all, so Pop is my stepdad, and he has been married to my mother for, I want to say, just under 15 years. So I really didn't get to see Pop in this career until, he was in his early 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And in that particular scenario, he was, in a new relationship with my mom. He was pushing himself extra hard on the road because he wanted to get to that stop so he can make the phone call. Obviously, he'd want to rush back home to get to her. And the first things that started popping up to me that seemed like an issue were the diet. But the big thing ended up being that he wasn't resting enough. And we found that out because we got a phone call one afternoon. He got to his destination. He got out of the truck and he collapsed.
Oh, no.
And I think it's awfully endearing that he wanted to see my mother that much. I don't know, why. She's a wonderful lady, but it just struck me like, my God, it's so much more than just sitting down. I mean, it really is. Doing this job is such a tremendous test of endurance.
Yep.
And I just don't think people are really aware. And having someone you love in the industry really shows that to you what a test of endurance it truly is.
It does. And fellas, I wonder how, when you hear that story that Amanda just told, how it sits with you, because I wonder how close, if ever, any of you guys have been to such a scenario. So, Burt, I'll start with you. How do you approach your sleep on the road, man? And do you feel like you get enough when you're out there?
So what I do is I stop and I eat and I go right to sleep. I'll turn the TV on. Oh, you stupid trailer. Spring rides. Y'all should drive one. But yeah, I go to sleep usually right away. And then how we get a 10-hour break. So at my age, you sleep six hours or so, and then you get up. Usually I get up around 2 to pee, and then I nap for an hour and I get up and do what I want, like my checkbook or anything. I also don't eat during work, especially carbs and stuff, because that makes me tired. The really hard thing for me is when we got to sit and get loaded.
You just kind of idle, like idle hands are the devil's plaything, right? You want to get your hand in a bag of chips or something.
Well, not so much with the eating, but it's just I start getting tired when I have to sit more than an hour, and
I get it. Okay.
So, and you don't want to take a nap when you're somewhere. Most times, if you don't know what's going on, because you don't know when you're going to have to move up or, when they're going to be done loading you and stuff. I see guys all the time sitting there laying on their steering wheel. I can't lay on my steering wheel and take a nap.
Yeah. I can't either. It's the same that I see people on the plane that lay their tray table down and nap on their tray table. You're just asking for a thrown out back at that point. I don't know how people do it.
Yep. But I mean, what I do is I sleep right away when I get stopped. Usually I get tired in the afternoon and it's all right, let's just go to sleep. And if we get up, then we'll have time to do stuff. Like today, I took an extra 30 minutes because I had woke up too early. And I'm like, you know what? I want to nap for an hour. And, which worked out because Yoder was up there and he said, yeah, it's 8 o'clock when they opened up at Hillsboro. So, you know,
Okay. All right.
I wasn't off the mark. I got there just as he was pulling out and another truck got under the rack. But
So that's
yeah,
good. You kind of leave yourself an out a little bit like you do when you're driving. If you have that extra time to take and you can get it in, why not rest and rest up for the day a little bit? But obviously that's a situational thing.
yeah, everything's like what do you want to call it? Like in flux. There has to be flexible with you out here on the road because you don't know what's coming at you next from dispatch or whatever. I mean, but if I'm tired, it's over. I'm gonna pull over and take a nap.
Love to hear it, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
20 minutes will make a big difference in your awareness. You know,
Yeah.
it's just not worth it.
Absolutely, man. I'm a big napper on my road trips, but I'm much like you. It's like I'm not going to do it. I'm fine until I hit that point, and I know where that point is. It's the minute that eyelids start to get heavy and the mind starts to wander for me. And that's when I'm looking for a rest area that I could pull off. And like you say, man, yeah, 15 to 20 minutes. I also can take a real wicked 40-minute power nap. And that can devolve into 2 to 3 hours with just one snooze of the alarm.
You go past 20 minutes, your body's trying to kick into a full REM cycle. So like your best bet is that 15, 20 minutes, you know, when you first drift off and you just start dreaming and then all of a sudden your body like jolts you awake, right? That's your body naturally trying to wake you up from that nap. That's like, this is the max you can have before we need 6 to 8 from you.
Yeah, see, I got to figure out somebody needs to open the owner's manual on my body because one thing I really like during a nap is a snooze button because it just means it's not over yet, right? But listen, I understand I'm quite a bit different than the drivers out there. You guys have a very tight schedule to keep, and I want to go to Jason here to talk to you a little bit. Jason, kind of the same thing that Burt told me there. What types of I guess I would call them, what little instincts do you have around your sleep and around the fatigue that you get while you're out there doing your job, and how do you manage it?
So I base all my entire sleep schedule on what I have to do to get the dope load done on time, mixed in with a bit of common sense and you know how I'm actually feeling for the day.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of times where I hammer down and I do 600-700 miles. You know, I do like 700 miles in the day. And I don't, you know, because I'm so wound up on adrenaline, I don't want to stop. But unfortunately, the government has something else to say about that at that point.
Yes, sir.
But there are times where I'm hammering down. It feels like I'm getting absolutely nowhere. The sun's been beating on me all day, and I need that second freaking energy drink.
Mm-hmm.
There's those days too, and it's so yeah. I try to keep me going, more or less. If I like he said, if I have to pull over, I will pull over. There have been a couple of times here at Trucking within the last year that I've been here where I've called up. You know, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm freaking tired. Like I can't keep my eyes open. I'm going to take a power nap and I'm going to be out of here in an hour. And all I hear is, okay, be safe.
Right.
That's it.
Right. And that's something that I want to really drive home here, Jason, is that point that you're not really going to get any guff from your dispatchers at Liquid over calling them to tell them that you're too tired and you need to take a nap, right? Have you guys ever had any pushback on that? I just want to get that out there.
For me, it depends on who I'm driving for at the time. Fortunately, I've lucked out and been with companies where, you know, when they push safety, they actually push safety. So if my DM came back and said, no, you have to hammer down, all I have to say is, we'll see what safety has to say about it, and they shut right up.
Yeah. And I imagine you haven't had to have that conversation back here at Liquid.
I had to have that conversation with when I was at Gordon Trucking a couple of times.
Okay, so at a different company. That's what I'm trying to dial in here. Right.
Yeah. And,
okay.
Usually it's these young punks that are fresh out of logistics school that have never seen the inside of a truck, let alone driven a truck. So they don't get what's actually going on out here.
Right. They're just looking at a spreadsheet.
Yeah, exactly. And what sucks too is right around that time too, companies were starting to turn their dispatch over to early AI and have the computers decide who gets what loads. And at that point, it does, computer doesn't know if it's snowing, what kind of traffic is, all they do is they look at your hours of service and like, okay, you could take this load, but it's scheduled so tight that one little hiccup, you're screwed.
Right.
And I've actually had to have that conversation multiple times with multiple companies.
Sure. Well,
like, yeah, that ain't happening.
Right. And that's, all that stuff can affect the sleep schedule too, right? As you're, if you are dealing with that. And listen, it's important for us to talk about how it is outside of Liquid too, obviously. Mostly want to concentrate on how it is inside, but we do have a lot of people that are not working for Liquid listening to the podcast here. And so if you're wondering what it's like within, you're not going to hear that type of stuff out of the guys here at Liquid. They're like, it's like, Burt said is, hey, I'm pulling over, or like Duncan said, I'm pulling over, and you hear, okay, go for it. It tends to be something that Liquid, like you said, Jason, if they're pushing safety and they're serious about pushing safety, that's going to be something that they're going to pay special mind to. You don't want tired drivers out there on the road.
No, especially especially with what we haul.
Right. Mm-hmm. I imagine if you were ever tired and had something surge on you a little bit, that'd wake you up, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely would.
Oh yeah.
Who hit me? Who's that? Yeah, or you're pulling a spring ride, which actually really wears you out at that point.
Burt, do you have any insight on that?
I don't think I could take a nap right now driving if I wanted.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get drowsy with it bouncing Betty. I'm going to, yeah.
Yeah. Guys, yeah. Burt, right when we got on the phone with Burt, before we ever went live here today, he let me know about that trailer that he's got right now. And yeah, it's a spring ride and it's springing him all over the place. So, little peek behind the curtain for you guys there. But Donut, want to go to you next, man. Talk to me a little bit about how you manage sleep fatigue out there on the road, and what tricks do you use to keep yourself alert and safe?
So I told you as soon as we got done with that special podcast for the Connor Sheldon Memorial that I was going to come back unhinged, and here we go. So I sleep on average 5 to 6 hours.
Okay.
At home, on the truck, it doesn't matter. So when I get stopped, I set up my game, set up a show. After I have a quick phone call with home, and then I set up my show and stuff. And while I'm doing that, I have my food going. I play a little bit of a game. I eat. I lay down. And then sometime within 2 hours, I fall asleep. I have 4 alarms set up to wake me up, starting an hour before I actually need to be awake, and going off every 15 minutes until about 15 till I need to roll.
Amanda's been shaking her head at you the entire time here, so I got to hear from her.
He warned me, in the last call that he is usually a more quirky kind of fella, and knowing what I know of Duncan, I'm not surprised, but I'm also so concerned. Why are you're legitimately depriving yourself of actual sleep by waking yourself up like that. It's so crazy. I have to ask a question though, and I'll tell you, since I've been working with you guys, with Liquid Trucking, I somehow have entered the trucker side of Facebook, right? So now I'm getting fed all the posts that are about your day-to-day life. And I screenshotted this one because I knew I was going to talk to you guys today about this. And it says, picture being ordered to rest with nowhere to stop. Truckers get 11 hours to drive, then they're forced to park for 10. Except every truck stop's packed, shoulders are illegal, Walmarts want you gone. So my question to you guys is, with all of this stuff going on, how much does finding a place to rest come into play for you?
For me specifically, I aim for 10 hours, and then I set a preliminary spot. I gauge it at about 55, 60 miles an hour, aim about 600 miles out, pick a spot. Now we can go about 70 typically, and if the speed limits allow. So I tend to hit it a little earlier. but I aim for that first spot. I look, I find nothing. I have a second spot set up about as close as I can get. If that's full, I have a third spot.
And once you now tell me, yeah, and that's trip planning, right? But tell me, at that third spot, Donut, how close are you to running out of PC time? Or are you even on your PC time at that point, or have you planned it out to where you've still got that PC time in your pocket?
I don't touch PC unless I absolutely have to. And if I do that, I'm trying to stay within 30 miles of that final spot. Okay. Like if I'm running low on time, I go to that third spot. If there's nowhere, I've already looked at anything within 30 miles, even if I have to backtrack.
Interesting.
Especially if I have to backtrack, because then I can backtrack to like a rest area or something, then spin around and come back. Because with PC, what DOT looks at is, did you come back to where you started?
Right.
And that's exactly what I do.
Right.
I will PC from spot 3 to a rest area. If I have to make a spot, I make a spot.
Sure, I get you. I get you. Well,
and
sorry, go ahead.
I get shut down, and then my next stop is spot 3. I go right back to spot 3, go on duty, and advance. Then start advancing the load.
Got it. Okay, so let's hear from the rest of you guys on that. How bad is finding a parking spot affecting your sleep out there? Burt, what do you think?
I like where I'm running. Mostly, I'm regional, and it's up and down 29. I'm a Bardo driver, so we run the same stuff quite a bit. Probably more than the OFC guys do. So I haven't had a real problem. But when I do, I'm like that. I make a spot, or I'll go, like if there's no spot, I'll go back to a rest area. I haven't had the PC, but like maybe in the beginning of my tenure with these guys. But yeah, I don't have that problem too often. We kind of know what time stuff fills up, and I have a couple spots picked out. If I still have a half hour or whatever and I get to my spot, I'll risk it and go to another one, because I try and push my full drive time as much as I can. But yeah, if I gotta backtrack or make a spot, I've been like trapped in a friggin' truck stop in the morning before too. Have to beat on trucks to get out because stuff gets so filled up sometimes. And
wow.
But usually if I go, further east or like out to Cali or something, which we don't do that often.
Right. Donut does, but nobody else does. That's.
I do. I try to go out there as often as possible.
Jason, you do too?
Most of my career is 11 Western.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, hey, Matthew, we haven't heard much from you, man. Talk to me about what you experience out there as far as finding a place to park within your clock and not having to dip into that PC. How do you approach it?
Well, I do the same thing. I got 3 to 4 spots picked out along my route. I don't know if the other guys have noticed this, but here in the last 2-3 months, I found that finding parking spots has been easier.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good, man. That's good. It's that maniacal. Yeah, that maniacal laugh that you hear there is one thing that cues us into the fact that that's a really good thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
What do you think is behind that, Matthew? If you don't mind me asking, do you think there's a reason, or have you come across a reason why it might be easier to find a spot right now?
Well, probably has a lot to do with the illegal drivers that they got rid of.
Didn't even think about it. Good point. There's been a bunch of CDLs that have come off the road over the last few months.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've noticed that since that started, finding a parking spot, even on along I-80, I-70, has been a lot easier.
That's crazy.
Interesting. Well, that's good, right? Because while we say sleep in and of itself doesn't show up on ATRI's top 10 issues for 2025, but parking does, and it has for, 2 or 3 years back in the past. So that parking issue might solve itself, or at least make itself a little bit better. I can't tell you guys how happy I am to hear that you're all in unison saying, yeah, it's been a little bit easier over the last couple of months. I mean, that's all we've been asking for. Like, we've done full episodes on this podcast about parking and trying to find parking in places that you can and can't park. So it's a big issue, and it's part of, once again, we talk about the larger thing here, it's part of fatigue, right? Because you're at the end of your day, adding in a bunch of frustration, having to go to 5 or 6 different places to find a place to park can't make the end of the day any easier, Matthew.
No. I mean, like last week, I found a parking spot at 9 o'clock at night at a Love's in Texas.
Wow, must have felt like you won the lottery, huh?
So there was 5 or 6 spots all over the place. I mean, there was plenty of parking, and it was at 9 o'clock at night.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Now, Jason, you're the last one. Haven't heard from you yet specifically on the parking thing. But are there any tips or tricks that you have? Anything that you do aside from just really good trip planning to find that parking spot, good place to sleep at the end of the day?
So the advantage of trip planning is knowing when, where, and how you're going to be shut down.
Mm-hmm.
But usually a big part of that trip planning is being familiar with the area you're in. For me, if I'm in an unfamiliar area, if it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening and I've only driven, let's say 350 miles and I see a parking spot, especially out east, I'm going to go in there. I'll do my 10 and I'll leave as soon as my 10 is up.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
because I'm not going to fight for parking. Like there have been a couple of times where, because I have a late pickup, I'm out in the middle of Pennsylvania. It's 8 o'clock at night, and I'm pulling into every travel plaza and truck stop along the way trying to find parking, and I end up parking on the on ramp, the shoulder of the on ramp of the of the rest area,
mm-hmm.
because I have no more hours to move.
So it can happen. I mean, there is definitely times where you've run out of time and you don't want to risk anything. You don't want to risk your safety score. You don't want to, even if it is just like, man, I bet you it's tempting to see another stop just right up. You can see it. It's right there. It's got to be within 5 miles, but you can't do it. It's not worth that risk, right?
Exactly.
So,
and in all honesty, like, I mean, especially states like Pennsylvania, like, everybody sleeps on the, like, I do not like the sitting duck. I mean, I like the sitting duck policy, where if you're sitting on the shoulder and somebody hits you, guess what? It is your fault.
mm-hmm.
But at this point, like, you're kind of screwed if you don't.
Sure. I understand it, man. And that's why we have this conversation, because drivers are dealing with this every day. And I feel like listening to you guys talk your way through it can be helpful for somebody who knows. There might be somebody tonight that is looking for something, and they listen to this show, and then all of a sudden you guys said something that turned them on to a way that they can handle it. So I greatly appreciate you guys being candid here. Like, trust me, if you started asking me questions about my sleep, like, I'm a little bit of a diva when it comes to sleep these days, and you wouldn't want to hear about it. Amanda, how about you?
No, I want to hear about it. Like, literally, what I was just thinking was like, all right, the way that I am at home, like, so many people are like me that they have to have the fan on, right? But that's just such a basic thing. Some people have to have their body pillow. They got to have, very specific things to be able to sleep well. And I want to know how that translates to being in the truck. Like, what thing do you have that helps you be able to sleep well? For me, I have to have a fan. So I'd have to have some sort of like portable something to make noise in that truck to help me sleep through.
Okay, let's start with Matthew there. Anything that you got to have in the truck that helps you get to sleep that is just a non-negotiable thing, Matt?
I am the same. I have fans in my truck.
All
and
year?
Is it...
Like every day, all temp?
No, I got the ones that the clip-on ones that plug into an outlet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I got it sitting above my bed so it blows down on me.
Okay, so is it, tell me this, is it a heat thing or is it a noise thing? Because I know a lot of people that don't, the fan isn't there to cool them off. It's just to make noise. For me, I got to have it to cool myself off.
Yeah. I have to have some air moving, and that I can't sleep if I'm not covered up, but I get hot easy.
Yep. Oh,
so having that fan blow on me, this works great.
See, I was hoping, or I was thinking going into this, I was going to feel attacked, but now I know that maybe I'm not a diva. Maybe I'm just a normal sleeper, because that's the same for me. Like, I am I swear to God, I sleep hotter than the average brown bear in hibernation, but I got to have a fan on, and I don't want to be hot. I always want to be cool, but for some reason, my body's just like a microwave. It's probably the things that I put into it, let's be honest. But we're not here to talk about me right now. Jason, how about you, man? What's a non-negotiable that you have in the truck to help you get good sleep?
So, for many years, I was able to sleep on the prison mattress that came with the truck. About 4 years ago, I'm like, I get out of my truck and I'm practically crippled. Like, I'm literally looking for a cane out of the truck stop because I can't move. And so I realized, after sitting on my pillow, that I have to get rid of the prison mattress. So now I have my memory foam 10-inch thick mattress in my truck, and I do not leave home without it ever.
There you go, man.
Between that, my 3 pillows, and my body pillow, yeah, I'm pretty comfy.
Again, I don't feel attacked anymore at all. I'm going to go ahead and take you guys through my sleep transition later in the episode. When it's just Amanda and I, because I don't want to eat up too much of this time, but you guys are making me feel a lot better about the tedium that I go through to get a good night's sleep. Donut, how about you, man? What's non-negotiable? What do you got to have in the truck to get a good night's sleep?
So, like I mentioned before, I throw up a show. It's usually Family Guy, Futurama, or some crime drama.
Okay.
I have to have that sound. I also have fans. And a 10-inch memory foam mattress.
A 10-inch memory foam mattress. You guys you're all starting to fall into the same category here, but I like it because it's the category of comfort. And that's what matters, right?
Dude, and Duncan, seriously, I don't judge the crime drama. My favorite go-to show to watch to go to sleep is Cops. Do you know why that's my favorite? Because it's always a happy ending. They don't show any episodes where they don't get the bad guy. There's no anxiety. I just fall right to sleep with Cops on in the background.
That's interesting.
I use Criminal Minds. I've seen every episode.
Okay.
See, so you know the outcome. See, that's makes total sense.
All right.
And when it's Family Guy or Futurama, you don't have to pay attention to it. Everything's back to normal by the end of the episode. Nothing. There's hardly any storyline. So if you miss something, you don't feel like you missed something. You're just like, what?
Yep. Just jokes.
Why is Brian on fire?
Yeah. I love it. I love a good adult cartoon that will just kill off a character and then not address it, and they're just back the next episode. Like that's what I love about cartoons. Like, there is no book of lore. Whatever we say happened, and we just start over at the beginning the next day. That is a good thing, and that makes for great background noise TV. If you just want the noise, jokes, or my wife is a tattoo artist, and they just installed a TV at the studio so that they have something to listen to in the background. And she asked me for a bunch of comedies, and I was giving her Step Brothers, Role Models, Old School, The Hangover, all these ones that are just joke after joke after joke. And then the other day they put on, they were watching the first season of Fallout. And she's like, I've seen everything. I know the first season of Fallout like the back of my hand, and I could not follow the show because I wasn't actively watching it. Comedies are great for not actively watching. You just get to laugh whenever you tune in.
Yeah.
It makes total sense to me.
Yeah, like Donut was saying, but with Family Guy, I never got into really adult cartoons except for Futurama. Like, that is one I will absolutely put on in the background and fall asleep to, because I've seen every single episode countless times over.
Yep. So
I
good,
know every
man.
joke. I know every scene. I don't, if I miss something, no big deal. But it's still, a good laugh.
Matt Groening's a national treasure, and I can say that and mean it because he's from here. And I don't care what Springfield, Missouri thinks of itself. You guys aren't what The Simpsons was based on. That's Springfield, Oregon. That's just right over here across the river from me. I have to put that out there. You guys, and I'll tell you why. Short little story here that's totally off the wall. Totally off the wall. So you guys remember when they put out the Simpsons movie? They had a competition for all the Springfields in the United States to make a short film about why they thought they were the Springfield that it was based after, that the show Springfield was based after. And my radio show was tasked with making that video. We had a professional videographer on with us. Tony Hawk made a cameo in that video, and they still gave it to Springfield, Missouri. We've got Jebediah Smith. We have a statue of Jebediah Smith at the University of Oregon campus. Moe's Bar is based after Max's Tavern, which was as much of a reason I was in debt getting out of college as my actual education. I'm telling you right now, Principal Skinner, we have Skinner Butte just over right next to the university there. We've got Skinner Butte. So we lost right that competition, and I am still angry about it. And that's been like 10, 12 years ago.
He's turning red, you guys. You can't even see.
Springfield, Missouri sucks, and I will die on that hill.
Meatloaf.
As a Missouri guy, Marcus, I agree. Springfield sucks.
Thank you. There's a little bit of validation for me.
I mean, if you guys don't know,
See, I'm from Ohio, the only Springfield.
Sorry, go ahead.
If you guys don't know, a little useless knowledge. The creators of anything Matt Groening, so the creators of The Simpsons and Futurama. The writers are actually from Springfield, Oregon, and Eugene, Oregon.
Yep, you damn right. You damn right. Somebody else throw out a fact that makes me more right than I already am. I love this.
We have 2 Springfields.
The fact that Springfield, Oregon does not have a nuclear power plant, I don't know where that came from, but...
Well, if you see some of the people in Springfield, Oregon, you might think there's a nuclear power plant. Right?
Remember, I used to live in Grants Pass, Oregon.
Yeah, right. You know,
and I worked for Right Away, so yeah, I know.
And you know what? Let me give you a little bit more of an Oregon connection. Did you know our brand new shiny co-host here, Amanda, actually did some radio in was it Klamath Falls?
Yep, Klamath
Falls, Oregon. So
home of Geldwin windows and doors and nothing else.
Yeah. There's probably a nuclear power plant there too, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And not to get off the subject, but I mean, I might as well have grown up Oregonian because I grew up in Crescent City of all places.
Okay, all right. So you guys are closer to me than I like to think. You're not next to me now, but I do know some of you get out here west every now and then. I get a call or a text message when you guys are coming through, and I have seen a liquid truck on Interstate 84 in the Columbia Gorge, which was really cool. Took all sorts of pictures, almost crashed the truck. Totally unsafe. Don't recommend it. But I was really excited that day, so I needed to get a picture there. But back to the topic at hand here. As you guys know, I love a good rabbit hole and tangent. Thanks for going with me on my little Simpsons rant there. Obviously, I need to talk to a professional, but again, for another day. This is a question I really wanted to ask you guys your thoughts on because you live it every single day. I've talked to enough drivers now that drove back when paper logs were a thing. I know that e-logs to some guys seem very restrictive, and they feel like they could do more if they didn't have to, if they weren't governed the way that they are. Now, on the flip side of that, I'll also tell you that a lot of drivers have told me in my travels that they are fatigued. They're tired out there. It's a tough job. It's a lot of miles. It can get very lonely. So that's a part of it as well. So my question to you guys, very simple. Is the fatigue in general that drivers face a structural industry problem, or is it driver responsibility? And just talk about that with your own thoughts. Just kind of think out loud here, because you guys, what I heard from all 4 of you is that you guys are very responsible when it comes to your sleep, your fatigue. You are not going to chance it. You're not going to go past your clock. You're not going to not pull over. But again, it's something I hear a lot about. So talk to me. Burt, we'll start with you. Is driver fatigue a structural industry problem or driver responsibility from your standpoint? Go ahead.
Well, ultimately, it's our responsibility. I have to make sure I get home. I have to make sure I don't run a family of 4 over on the road, I think it falls to me whether you're on paper logs or not. And I don't know. I got on just before E-log, the mandate came. Mm-hmm. Started driving just before that. But to they did try to push harder than we were doing like 12. So we were slip seating, and I stopped at North Sioux City, and I mean I had just started driving. We're within the first 3 months, and I'd get, and of course I was an overnight driver, so I'd get to 2 a.m. or so, and I'd hit a wall, and I'd be tired. It took me a while to get through that, so I stopped and took a nap. Well, it turned out to be like a 5-hour nap, and they were calling like, they're like, "Where are you?" My wife at the time was calling. They all thought I was crashed or something, and I'm like, "No, I was tired, man. I couldn't do it. I had to stop and sleep." And I made this other dude miss out on, like, I think it was 2 hours of work. I was late. Be quiet, Sally. And yeah, but I did not care. Just like when it's windy and you got an empty dry van, and I see my wheels come up 6 inches off the ground. I went back to the yard. I said, "Not doing it, bro." And it's like, "Oh, come on. It's just over to Shelby." I'm like, "Nope, 50-mile-an-hour winds in a freaking empty van? No." I got better things to do than, have a funeral. So, yeah.
Right. Well, great stuff there. It's exactly why I asked you, because you gave me a straightforward answer there. It's your responsibility. You're the one that has to make that final call, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's go on to Matthew. What do you think, Matthew? Structural industry problem or driver responsibility when we talk about driver fatigue?
It is 100% driver responsibility. And I say that because Liquid's the only place I've ever ran E-Log. Every place else I've been, I started driving in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the only place I've ever used E-Log. When I left, I was running paper logs. Now I come back, I'm running E-Log. I sleep more during the week now than I did the 2.5 years I was gone.
Sure. And is that a result of just the planning, the structure of the organization that you're working for, or just the fact that E-Log keeps you honest?
Well, a little bit of all of it.
Yeah.
The plan is, I was with a small company, and we ran all over the place, but I was home every weekend still. But sometimes if I got loaded in Georgia on Friday afternoon and I wanted to be home for the weekend, you're driving straight through.
Right. Interesting stuff there. Okay, well, I'll be honest with you. It's kind of how I thought your guys' answers would shake out here, but we still got 2 more to go to. Jason, what do you think? Structural industry problem or driver responsibility?
A lot of it is heaped up on the driver's responsibility, but I'm going to say both, because there's a lot of times where you get into a customer, and I don't mean Liquid, I mean just the industry period. So you run my hours out. I cannot legally move. Well, you can't stay here. And at that point, I say, okay, call the cops. Better yet, call the state trooper, because he's going to get over here. I'm going to show him my logbook. And he's like, yeah, you're not moving, because no officer worth their weight in gold is going to give up their career to have a driver move and get in a wreck.
So sometimes maybe the structural industry problem of it actually lies outside of the driver's control. It sounds like, Jason, like
Exactly.
you can't plan for that contingency.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's interesting. And that totally makes sense there. It's like you could call it a structural industry problem, but it's almost like just a cost of doing business, right? Because even if everything runs really smooth at every single customer, it could be anything. Somebody could blow a tire in line. Somebody could, end up with a air in the pump or something like that causes you a few minutes. Just spending 5 extra minutes with this truck and 7 extra minutes with that truck means every truck behind you is out that time, right? If they're just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, exactly.
So these are all things that are just impossible to plan for. That you call it a structural industry problem, but we just haven't advanced far enough to be able to deal with these yet, right?
Yeah, or even like Liquid deals with it all the time, and as well as the rest of the industry. Like, they're like, hey, you have to be here at this time, set appointment time, right? and you plan for that, and me, I usually plan for about 2 hours, being at that customer,
Mhm.
right? But then they don't get to you for like 3 or 4 hours.
Right. Now I've talked to some of you guys that are on long layovers before. I think the longest one I feel like I've heard, and this is going back a couple of years, I feel like, but it was something on the order of like 5 or 6 hours. Somebody was sitting there just waiting because they were so stacked up when they got to the customer.
Oh no, really, that's it. There's actually a customer out in the Denver area, and anybody that's delivered to any one of those DCs, especially the one out on the north end of the Denver area, knows what happens. So what you do is you show up for your appointment time. They have you back in your door, and you do your full 10 in the door. And at that point, they'll tell you, as soon as the light's green, don't worry about it. We'll call you when your paperwork is ready. I sat one time for 20 hours before they gave me the phone call.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they just get super
Gotta love
busy
those
there.
grocery warehouses.
Yeah, man. And what can you do about that? Nothing.
Well, and what sucks is at the time I wasn't working for a company that gave me detention pay.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
you're out time.
Yeah, I'm out that money.
Copy.
You do that enough, like you're gonna leave real fast.
Yeah, for sure. Donut, I want to go to you here because we're starting to run out of time. We haven't gotten your answer yet. Structural industry problem or driver responsibility when we talk about driver fatigue?
I still say driver responsibility. As far as structural in general, it's with e-logs, we're set up like the whole point of it is to make it so the companies can't push us too far.
Right.
And here at Liquid, they wouldn't if they could.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
For sure.
They make sure we get our 34-hour breaks. If we're fatigued, we call into dispatch and be like, "Hey, I know I've only run 4 hours today. I was sitting here waiting to get loaded for 5. I had that 2 over there at the washout before I came over here to load. Like, I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. It's 8. I'm tired." Yeah.
Sure. No, it makes sense, man. Good stuff here, guys.
And I've driven for other companies, and they tried to push me, and I went, look, either send me over to safety, or I'm calling highway patrol. I'm not coming. I am fatigued. This is not okay. I'm not doing it. Well, you were sitting for 8 hours.
It doesn't matter.
Sitting.
Right.
I was sitting. I wasn't sleeping. I was waiting.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
That's more different companies. Both shippers, receivers, and certain trucking companies just screwing with you. That's not necessarily the industry as a whole. So it's still the driver. If you have to threaten the dispatcher or leave, do it. Make sure you're safe. I understand it'll hurt the paycheck, but there's this thing called the Better Business Bureau and DOT, and call them.
Yeah,
right?
and get to work for a company like Liquid that's just not going to do that to you, because
absolutely
we're going to sit here and talk about safety all the time. It's real two-faced if your company is talking about driving home safety is an important thing, and then they're asking you to run over your clock or do something to further put yourself or the motoring public in danger. It's just not. It's not worth it. And that's one of the reasons that we want to have this conversation on the podcast here is to let you guys know if you're out there, you're listening, and maybe you're new to Liquid and you haven't run into this yet, you don't need to be concerned. You need to call your dispatcher and be honest with them and let them tell you, hey, go take a nap, go do what you need to do to be safe, because that's what they will tell you at this company. I've spoken to you guys enough. We've had enough of these conversations to know that's the MO at Liquid Trucking, and we can't speak for any of these other fly-by-night outfits out there that might be asking you guys to do something outside of the purview of safety, but We greatly appreciate you guys coming on here and sharing about this today, fellas. As always, we're going to let you, we're going to make some room here for final thoughts from you. But I want to go to Amanda real quick first. Amanda, make sure that I didn't run over you and leave anything on the table there. I've been talking a lot today.
No, you're good. I think the only thing I'm curious about from our four guys, I mean, I don't know if you all are married, if you have significant others at home, but I'm curious to know, when you're home, is it hard to sleep having another human being there if you do? Like, since you're used to being on the road and by yourself and setting it your own way and making yourself comfortable, like I can see where when you get home, you might want to like smother your significant other with a pillow if they're snoring too loud or something. You know what I mean? Like, okay, keep it down over there.
Donut, what do you think?
Well, my situation gets a little dicier.
That's why I went to you first.
Yeah, of course. I've kind of alluded to it. I have partners at home, and all three of us sleep in the same bed. So I'm like you, Marcus. I am a heater when I'm asleep, and so I'll get overheated with other people around me. I get overheated the first few nights, and I'm waking up. I do things a little differently. I'm not at home every week or every other week like some of the guys. I'm out a month, so I have a whole week. So the first 2 nights, I'm not well rested. And then by the time I leave, I'm used to them. So then my first night in the truck, I'm just like, I can't sleep.
Yeah, can't buy a
Vicious
bucket,
cycle.
man. Can't buy a bucket.
Yeah.
How about you, Matthew?
Yeah.
Oh, I am married, and I go home every week. And I do find it hard to sleep when I'm at home because we have 5 dogs.
Oh.
Okay.
And
Oh yeah.
and they range from 10 pounds to 60 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay. So they're taking up some of your spot they're keeping your spot warm when you're out, is what it sounds like.
Well, they look at me like, I don't know what you think you're doing, Pop,
Yeah, it's
because
their
that's my
spot.
spot. You're not laying there.
Yeah, that's their spa now.
So there's a lot of times I'll wind up out on the couch or in my chair
Okay.
in the middle of the night. So, but I only sleep like 4 to 5 hours at a time.
So it's not that big of a deal, but and you can adjust to it. You know, it's just keeping the
Yeah,
dogs and
yeah.
the wife happy, right? That's the whole name of the game.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Jason, how about you, man? You find it harder to sleep when you get home after you've spent some time time out in the truck?
So I'm actually going through some right now. My bed in my truck is more comfortable than my bed at the house now. And Christmas time, I was home for home time, and I was home for like pretty much 5 days that week. And so like, I wanted to sleep, get some rest, because I came in kind of not late, but later than I wanted to that day. And so I was going to get up, we were going to go shopping in Kansas City or whatever, go have some fun, get ready for actual Christmas. Well, because our mattress is over 20 years old and I'm used to sleeping on my memory foam mattress, let's just say I was kind of screwed up for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I totally understand.
I couldn't walk. Yeah, I could not walk for nothing. My back was just twisted, and my wife's. Yeah, I mean, I was getting up like every couple of hours, getting in a hot bathtub to help loosen it up.
Oh, wow.
That'd last for about half an hour, so I'd get out, dry off, sit in my chair for another, sleep in my chair for about another half hour, 45 minutes, and that wouldn't feel good, so I'd go lay down for about another half hour, 45 minutes. Get some kind of sleep, and then I'd be back at square one, and it was like that for like 3 days, and I didn't start feeling normal until I came back out on the road.
Wow.
So before I came back on the road, my wife and I, we went and found every blanket that we had to put on top of the mattress, and then put the sheets over it, which actually helped out quite a bit.
Good.
So when we get a chance, the home time after that, we went down to Nebraska Furniture Mart down in KC and priced the mattress that I have for the size of our, for a king size. And it wasn't terrible. Like, I'm surprised it wasn't terrible. So
That's good,
when we
man.
get a chance there, we're going to go get that mattress and
That's good.
Never have
Then
to worry
line out, sleep at home a little bit, man. That's good because look, they're not cheap. Okay, mattresses, something you don't want to have to
No.
buy any more than about once every 20 years. So
Or we're going to see him
Yeah.
sleeping in his truck in the driveway.
yeah, right.
Actually, I thought like my truck was actually parked out on the road, and I considered it like going out to the truck and like actually sleeping.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you got a comfortable mattress out there. Can't blame you for that. Burt, you're the last one, man. Before we let you guys go, tell us, you have trouble sleeping when you get home as opposed to out on the road?
The only trouble I have is the dog stepping on my ball. I'm not used to that. I'm used to like having, my own sleep space and not getting. Okay, we got 2 dogs. We got my dog, and she's real good. She'll lay down next to you and be real good. Then we got Dennis. Dennis the Minute.
Sounds like it.
And he's what the heck kind of dog is he? Like a big fat wiener dog, like a 30-pound freaking log of meat is what he is. And he's like a basset hound and healer mix.
Okay.
And so he'll walk in me, or like we used to have a shelf by the bed and the cats would jump on me. It's like, God dang, So I have no trouble sleeping. I've been lit on fire in my sleep, and they had to put me out because I didn't wake up. But just never mind. It was at a block show.
I feel like there's a story there that we have to hear at some point in time.
Right.
Maybe not today, but
Probably. Like, you
episode.
ever do a punk rock show, we can do that. But,
okay. All right.
Okay,
We're
so-
doing one just because
Yes.
of that. I promise.
I wanted to be part of that one too.
We'll tell my fire story of how I became the president of the local motorcycle club.
There you go.
We'll
there you
save
go.
it for
Burt
that
would love to hear
episode.
that.
Oh,
Burt would love to hear that.
Yeah.
He just fell in love with you.
Oh yeah.
so I don't sleep as much at home because I've got, I bought this business. I have a lot of stuff to do. So the girls will sleep all weekend. They don't really get out of bed. They've worked or gone to school and they want to nap, they like napping. They get up in the evening. So as soon as the dogs step, I get up and I go feed the cats. I do laundry. I do the dishes and then I get in trouble for the lights being on and stuff. And then I go down to my shop and work on stuff there if it's not freaking frigid and cold. And then when the girls are ready to be up, I go back home. But yeah, I don't have a problem sleeping anywhere. I'm older now, so I can't sleep on concrete like I used to every weekend. But
Right.
That's a good thing to grow out of, Burt. I'll be honest with you. It's a positive thing that you can't sleep on concrete
Right.
anymore. I promise.
But in those thin little mattresses that you had to roll, never mind. But yeah, I can sleep better when I'm on the road. Yeah,
Coffee.
because I forced myself to. Coffee and loud music.
There you
out here.
go. There you go. I love
Fresh
it,
air
man.
too.
Yeah, fresh air helps,
Yeah.
man. Rolling the windows down. There's no substitute.
Now you can get woke right up rolling your window down right now around
Yeah,
here.
you might also lose an ear. So just remember that. Frostbite is a real thing. So please don't
Yeah.
forget. Well, gentlemen, listen, I'm actually going to I'm going to go ahead and toss final thoughts here today because we had that awesome question from Amanda. You guys have already been on here with me for almost an hour, so I'm going to let you get back to it. Mikal Donut Duncan, Jason Defoor, Matthew Stevens, and Burt Morris. You guys have been great today, man. This was a fun conversation. And I really hope that some of the drivers out there listening heed some of your guys' advice because we've got 4 very experienced drivers here that have seen a lot out there on the road. And I think you guys gave some very valuable tips today about how to manage what you face. So, gentlemen, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here with us today. You be safe out there, okay?
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, take it easy, fellas.
You bet.
Great stuff there from our drivers today. Again, big thank you to Burt, Donut, Jason, and Matthew. And a reminder to you guys, since I didn't actually talk about this on the air with Matthew, he was making his first appearance today, so we're going to hook him up with some Drive for Gold points. That goes for everybody out there at Liquid. If you've never been on the show before and you want to come on, just send us a message, man. Reply to one of my fleet text messages. We will hook you up with some points, and I promise you'll have a good time and you'll want to come back and do it again. That's just the way it goes on here. So congratulations to Matthew for breaking the ice and getting those Drive for Gold points. Amanda, I had told you, and I said there during the interview, that I'm a little bit of a diva when it comes to sleep, and I'm sure you probably have some questions.
I do. I just want to know what the sleep routine is. Like right now, after you said that, I'm picturing you with like a cold mask and, blackout curtains. Maybe you have like a little noise machine or something. We're going to have it play Falling Rain today.
It's close, okay? You're not altogether off base with a lot of this stuff, okay? The one thing I will say, I've tried the sleep mask because I really do like a dark room. And part of this stems from college. I was experimenting, and there was a bright light in the room, and it was just the bane of my existence, and I couldn't, and since then, like, I remember that. I don't remember being that way as a kid, but that one night is like, now I feel like my eyelids just got thinner as I got into my 20s, and
I'm telling you, it's a thing. It's really a thing. Like now I'm to the point where even that, the little light on the TV, like when the power little light, and it'll be blue when it's on and it's red when it's off, that light will wake me up from my sleep. I walk up to it and I put like a penny over it or something. Like whatever. How that tiny light can wake me up, I don't get it.
It's the same way for me. If you walk into a hotel room that I've been in, you'll think that something weird's happened because there will be towels spread all over the room. Those towels are used to cover every little light in every hotel, because I don't know why every hotel room thinks that I'm going to get up blind without my phone and try to navigate a room that I've not been in before. So they put little lights on lamps and little lights on fridge doors and I don't need them. And I'm going to take all 19 towels that you give me for this one person staying this one night in the room, and I'm going to cover everything that emits light in that room. And I do. That's a little bit of diva me on the road, but I'll tell you where it started and where it is now, because I think that is kind of fundamental. Old mattress in college, queen size bed that, my sister had in college and then didn't need anymore when she moved in with her husband. So hand-me-down bed, creaky, not really that comfortable. And honestly, for all the time after I got out of high school until 20 years later, I slept face down with a tiny, like, I would say cardboard thin pillow. The thinner the pillow, the better, because I would only just barely put it under my head, and flat on my face, like somebody punched me out and I landed just spread eagle on my stomach. Then I got into radio, which you guys know. You've had a long storied radio career as well, Amanda. You will know that one of the businesses that just can't help themselves and they have to advertise on radio to an exorbitant amount are mattress companies.
Oh, yeah.
Mattress companies love the shit out of a radio ad. And I will tell you, not a real bad deal, because we got hooked up with this place called Sleep Country. You might also know it as Mattress Firm, Mattress Country. There's 1,000 different names. It's all the same company. And they signed us up, the show I was on, and they gave us all free mattresses. And we didn't know, as 1099 employees of this company, that we were going to have to pay the taxes on these mattresses. We thought, go into Sleep Country, choose your mattress, and go home and get the best night's sleep of your life. So your boy went right to the top shelf and picked out a $10,000 Tempur-Pedic mattress that I thought was going to just be my new mattress. And it was, but it cost me $3,600 in taxes, which is more than I would have spent on a mattress to begin with. So
yeah, that's crazy.
There's where the problem started. But I'll tell you right now, you will have to pry that mattress out of my cold, dead fingers. It is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I tried for the first couple of years to sleep on my face, still just the same way I always did. Got a better night's sleep. But with a Tempur-Pedic mattress, you kind of sink into it in weird ways. And my lower back started to kill me. So I started talking to some people, and somebody said, hey, have you tried sleeping on your side? Okay, I'm going to try it. Well, I slept on my side, and then my neck hurt because I had this little skinny-ass pillow. So, okay, so now I'm going to get myself a Tempur-Pedic pillow, and that's like to the tune of $250 too. So this is why I use the term diva. Like I'm financially committed at this point. So now I sleep on my side, and I think, God, this is great. I got the neck support. My back doesn't hurt anymore. My hips are started. They're not quite right in the morning when I wake up. It's like I feel like I got to do like a half turn and like a gainer, and then I can open them up a little bit. Somebody says, hey, have you ever thought about putting a pillow between your knees? Never. So I thought, try it out. Pillow between the knees was a revelation, Amanda. I've never slept so good in my life. So now I got the nice thick pillow under the head. I'm on the side. I got the pillow between the knees. The goddamn shoulder starts to hurt.
Stop it.
So what's going on with the shoulder? Oh, I got another friend that says, dude, ever since I started hugging a pillow when I sleep on my side with a pillow between my knees and the support of the good pillow under the head, I'm great. So in the span of 6 months, Amanda, I went from a $10 mattress with a piece of cardboard to a $10,000 mattress with a $250 pillow and then a hand-me-down pillow for the knees and another $200 pillow to hug because you got to have a fat one. I am a total diva. I've spent like J-Lo to sleep like Celine Dion. And you know what? I wake up feeling fine unless I get a text message at 5 in the morning that pisses me off like I did today. But I can't look at that scenario, Amanda, and see the change over 6 months and call myself anything other than a diva. I just can't do it.
I really thought at the end of this explanation I was going to be defending you, and I can't.
No reason to. No reason
At
to.
the same time, I'm picturing those big pregnancy pillows that are shaped like an upside down U, and because the next thing you're going to be like, oh, but like my bones hurt because I think I'm too cold. And someone's going to be like, well, do you usually have someone spoon you? And if nobody can, you can get this pillow. Like we're going to show up someday looking for you and you're just going to be like buried under a mountain of different shaped pillows.
That's the way I go. That's the way I go. I will diva sleep myself into an early death because I will suffocate under a mountain of pillows. It's true. It's true. So I hope your opinion isn't any less of me, but yeah, that's what's going on at my house when the lights go out. And not proud of it. But I feel like if we're going to talk about sleep, I should be as open and honest as our drivers were today, Amanda. So there you have it.
I love it. I love it. You know what assists me in sleep? Poor metabolism. You don't eat all day. You have that nighttime meal. Boom, you're out. Is it good for me? No, but I'll tell you what, it helps you sleep. The other thing is being an empty nester now. And I know that, we're different on that experience, but having teenagers in the house, you never sleep because you're always waiting for that phone call. At least I am. That
something's happened.
I ran out of gas. Whatever.
Yeah.
So it took like literally a whole year of an empty nest before I started to finally chill and be able to sleep at night. But I will tell you a secret, Marcus. I'm a little bit of a princess in the pea because I have box spring and then expensive memory foam mattress with another expensive memory foam mattress on top because yes. Yeah.
Good God. Did you have to take out a second mortgage on your house?
No, but I really love the height of the bed. And for some reason that it makes it for me. So between that, the blackout curtains and hiding every possible piece of light that might seep out, that's about how I sleep.
That's how you go. That's how you go. Interesting. Well, I've never been one to try. Sometimes my wife uses like melatonin or they've got like the Z-Quil now. And I just wanted to touch on something that you said beforehand. I want to tell you guys, if you're taking over-the-counter medication, don't do it. Just go get yourself a calzone and eat it right before bed. Again, I'm not here to give you health advice. I'm here to help you sleep, and you will go into a coma state after a calzone right before bed. That's my experience anyway. Again, when this episode isn't about nutrition, so,
we'll
take
do that
it
another
for
one.
what you will. Yeah. All right, Liquid Trucking, we're going to wrap it up here today. That's all for Amanda and I. Thanks for tuning in for our episode here to talk about driver fatigue. Feel like we really had some good conversations back and forth with the drivers today and learned some things as well. We'll be back here next week, same time, same place. Stay safe out there, Liquid Trucking. Keep the shiny side up. We'll talk to you later, Amanda.
Thanks for tuning in and being the gold standard of drivers on the road. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and tune in next week for another episode of the Liquid Trucking Podcast.
Interested in finding out more about what it takes to bring a podcast like the Liquid Trucking Podcast to your fleet? Bulldog provides tailor-made top-to-bottom podcast production services. We'll meet your terminal staff, connect with your drivers, and bring you the content you want your drivers to hear. Type bulldog.works into your browser to connect with us and learn more about what we can do for your fleet. That's bulldog.works for podcasts, tenacious recruiting, and more.